This yarn was so hard to find. They only had one color available. It was like order online only. I just walked into Joann Fabrics to see if they had any more just like setting out, because online in the store it says that there's like 6 or 7 available, but no, there wasn't anything out yet. Yarnspirations Bernat Blanket Mist-ical. It's giving Hocus Pocus vibes, and I am so here for it. I was just really interested, is this any different than Bernat's blanket yarn? Or are we just naming it Mist-ical and doing like different colorways? Like, is this the same formula as the other Bernat blanket yarn, which I feel like it is. It's a super bulky number 6, suggesting an 8mm crochet hook. Purple Sky is the name of it, but now it's Hocus Pocus. Like, that's just going to be in my head forever and for always. There is a free pattern on it, and I wish that they had more, because I totally would have started this blanket. Like, look at that. That's so cute. And especially with this colorway, that was like the perfect pattern to put on here. And it is a crochet pattern too. Definitely gonna save it. Honeycomb crochet open work blanket. I'm hoping we're gonna see more here very soon, but I'm just very happy that I got my hands on one of these. It is super soft. Care instructions are on the inside of the label, so I'm gonna pull that off when we get back to the yarn dungeon. I don't want it to be like a hot mess in here. 100% polyester. We have 300 grams, 10.5 ounces, 220 yards. Oh my gosh, am I gonna start another blanket? Totally lost count of how many blankets I have started at this moment. And you know what? I'm not gonna look too closely at that, because if I love this one, it for sure is gonna be this blanket. It looks like it would work up quick too, especially because it's so airy. I feel like it doesn't even count as another blanket on my queue. They did have quite a few colors in this lineup. Throw it in the wash, throw it in the dryer. It does have the little symbols for it right there, which is why I like this yarn, because when I make blankets with this, I want them to be durable, ones that can withstand daily wear and tear. But Mist-ical, just thought it was super cute. Very Halloween, I love it. Can we all agree that this is Hocus Pocus theme yarn? I mean, especially the fact that it's called Purple Sky. Immediately think of the Sanderson sisters on their brooms flying on Halloween night. It has some pretty cool potential for some Hocus Pocus inspired blankets. Okay, let's pull it up on their site, because they did have quite a variety of colors. How many do they have in total? 15, and this is the only one that I could get my hands on right now. The other one that I tried to order was called Cinder. Didn't have any plans for it. I just thought these two colors went together really well, and maybe I was gonna do some granny squares or something. C2C blanket alternating between these two colors would be amazing too, but here is the thing. Okay, so it's on sale right now for $8.39 for one of these skeins. It's originally $11.99, but they have 30% off their entire yarn stock. So like everything, oof, fuzzies floating around. Okay, so I just reorganized a bunch of my yarn over here, like this stuff. Yeah, so a lot of it is wool and everything. It's just like floating in the air. It says it's available to ship, which I might have to go that direction, because the other spot says not sold in stores. Are any of them like that now? Did I just get really lucky? Okay, so the Canyon one, that one is available at the Joann Fabrics that I was just at. Pickup available, curbside or in store. Even though I didn't see it in the store, it means that it's somewhere in the back just waiting there, and I got really, really lucky then to get my hands on this one. All right, I'm just gonna show you the rest of the colors here. Pretty much the first two that I ordered, those are the ones I'm most excited about. Maybe the Gray Cloud too, and that one is available. Okay, so there's just some of them that are not in the stores yet, or potentially they're not going to sell it in stores and it's going to be online only. I really hope that's not the case. I would like to see the entire lineup of this, but I'm going to be happy with what I found for the day. The berry one also looks pretty cool, like a wine color. Any sort of variation of red, I can find use for that yarn. No reviews at the moment. Obviously, it's brand new yarn. Bernat Blanket Mist-ical, 220 yards, of super bulky polyester yarn, is set to get a little bit mystical with this brand new dye effect. Bernat Blanket Mist-ical takes over beloved Bernat Blanket yarn. Wow, I've said Bernat Blanket so many times now. To create a new watercolor marbling effect, creating pockets of darker color to add texture and definition to your projects. Perfect for adding a little touch of magic into every stitch. Easy to care for, and maintain. So yes, it's exactly the formula for the Bernat blanket yarn. They just changed up the coloring. I use this stuff for everything. I mean, I'm sure you use it for a lot of things too. Plushies, blankets, home decor. There really is no end to what this yarn can be used for. Okay, I'm just like losing this all over here. I was gonna pull the tag off. Well, these I normally pull from the outside. I don't really like try to find the end, so I take the tag off and then get a giant yarn bowl and pull from that direction. Feels like it's gonna be the easiest too. It's all pretty loosely wound at this moment. Anything else that we need to know about it before we get testing? Don't iron it. Okay. I do have my onyx hooks that I haven't used an 8mm for yet. I just haven't come into any big chunky projects. So let's grab that one and I don't know, let's do a little granny square with this just to test it out. Kind of just want to see how this color plays out. I mean, even though I like it like this in the skein form, it does look a lot different when you work it up. Since I want to see the color a little bit better, I think I'm just going to do a solid granny square, maybe like half double crochet or something like that. I guess I'm going to take this tag off. Okay, perfect. What's on the inside? Anything that I didn't know. It has the honeycomb crochet open work blanket pattern right in here. Start by chaining 80. I really want to do that. I'm not going to start it though, because if I can only get my hands on one of these, I'm not going to start the blanket and I need 3 more. You can always just go ahead and scan the outside of it if you don't want to be like me and rip the tag off and then put it in. I have like a book, a little binder that I have all my favorite free patterns. Just place them in there so whenever I have time, I can pull it out and work on it. Find the end. All right, what did I say? Half double crochet? Let's do double crochet actually, because I'm making a bunch of cardigans at the moment and that's the stitch that I'm working on, so it's kind of like muscle memory at this point. I think that pattern's gonna showcase this color so well. Even though we don't need to start a new blanket today, just a tiny little swatch to test it out is good enough. Okay, here's row number 1, how it's working up there. Very spooky, very witchy. Totally love it already. And then with the cinder, going on the edges with it, or even maybe like alternating every other row. Well, because there's 5 rows for this one, right? Yeah, 5 rows and repeat row 2 through 5. So yeah, I could do like every other with the colors. Little close-up of the swatch. What do we think about the colorway? With the stitches being a little compact like this, I think it's going to showcase the watercolor marbling that they have on it a little bit better, but it would be kind of fun to see a light and airy stitch too. I mean, this is kind of like best of both worlds because we're going to have this part right here where it's really close together, but then it's an airy stitch so it can kind of flow a little bit better too. I feel like the color is pretty well balanced. It's not huge color pooling everywhere, just a fun little witchy purple. So how do we feel about this? Now that we got the tiny little swatch worked up, I'm ready to make this blanket. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna put an order in for this color online and also the cinder. That way I can decide if I want to do a border or I want to do like every other for this. Also help me out, like what direction should I go with that? I got a little time, I can think about that. Let's get into our crochet along for tonight. Our 100 Nights to Halloween blanket. We have 87 Nights to Halloween, rows 25 and 26. Okay. For our movie marathon that we're gonna crochet along to tonight is Midsummer. There are so many pieces from this movie that I would love to crochet up, like this piece back here. So iconic. I would love to have that worked up and added to my Halloween village eventually. Obviously the flower gown, it has to be worked up sometime. All right, ghouls, that's it for tonight. So thanks for hanging out with me, checking out this new Bernat Mist-ical yarn. I hope you have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you ghouls tomorrow.